Hey guys, I'm going to do a book review. I hope you can hear me. Does that make it a bit easier? Not sure. Anyway, much weighted book. Hush, hush. Now I'm going to give this 4.5 stars, not 4.5. Well, 4.5, whatever. 4.5 stars out of 5. Much like most people's videos, I really did enjoy this book. I'm trying to think because I finished it on Tuesday and it is now Saturday. But for those who haven't seen it, which, yeah, that is the cover, and it is about a girl named Nora Gray, and everything starts going wrong when she meets this guy called Patch. And I won't give anything away because, I'm sure there's lots of videos out there, but I just want to give you my opinion on the book as a reader. I really loved how, not how fast-paced, it's not fast-paced, it's how the book just goes into it straight away. For the first few days that I was reading this book, I was reading 80 pages a day, and for me, 80 pages is a lot. This is like in one sitting rather than spanned out all over the day. The first night I read it, I was reading 80 pages and that was in about an hour or so. So that's like amazing for me, considering it takes me ages to read a book. Or it can take a week, but I do things in between. Yeah, unless I have a really good day and I read all through the day. Anyway, back to the book. Now, I love Patch. I love his personality. I love that I love what he stands for, even though he is, how do I say this without spoiling it? I don't think I can. You have to kind of read the book. I just love Patch. There's a few other characters that Nora meets on the way, like Elliot and Jules, and you meet Chauncey, who's in the book as well, in the prologue, which I loved. I loved the little prologue. I love that very much. And I love how all the characters, like, blend together and they work off each other, and it's really great. The only character I didn't really like, and I think that's because she was very vague, and she was meant to be written as that way, which is why I didn't give this book a 4 or a 3, because I knew that she was meant to be written as way, is Miss Green. I love V. V reminds me so much of myself at her age and younger. Very honest and blunt, but sort of carefree and all that, she's not a typical teenage girl, which, I can't remember the girl in the book. What's her name? It's not Mimi, it's something else, but I can't remember. Marcy, that's right. She's not like Marcy, and I like this book because it doesn't have a lot of those characters in it. It doesn't have a lot of, cheerleading, bitchy type characters. It's more like a thriller sort of thing. Like, it was definitely like, oh my god. I didn't really guess anything until, about, maybe, I don't know. It was late in the book when I figured out what was happening. I didn't even know, the twist at the end, who the character is, if you guys have read it. Oh my god, I did not see that coming. Not until at least near the ending, but a fair way in near the ending before I actually figured it out. So, I really, really love this book. I give it a 4.5 stars because it took me a while to read, because I was reading between another book and sorting out stresses in life as well. But also because the next thing I'm going to talk about is because some people have said that this book does have a few similarities to Twilight. Now, I'm not going to say that this is like a Twilight ripoff, because it's not. It's nothing like Twilight, but there are little parts in it that remind me of, not scenes as much, but like character traits that remind me of a bit of Twilight, but that was only very early in the book and very sparingly. Once I got past it, I was like, oh fuck, like, not fuck, but excuse my language, but it was just like, oh my god, this is so not Twilight. Why are people bagging it? Why are people saying this is like a ripoff? Because it has nothing to do with Twilight. There's no vampires in it, and it's not even really that much about fantasy. It's more like fantasy, like vampires and stuff. It's more I would say supernatural, which is kind of fantasy well, but it's more well, if you haven't already known, it's about angels. So, and I really, really love that this book is about angels. There's a couple of books that are coming out now, so I guess that's going to be like the new trend for vampires, like angels and stuff. But I want to read these books that are coming out before they start bringing out a lot more. Another author that I really love, and I know this is going off track from the review, but J.R. Ward with the Black Dagger Brotherhood series. I should know this, I love this series. She's gone off, and instead of her vampire series, she started a series about fallen angels as well, I believe. So a lot of vampire authors, I guess, or even just new coming authors are starting to write about fallen angels. So I kind of want to read these books while they're still fresh, like while there's still some fresh plot, because there's always people coming out with new things, but once they start getting hyped up, and it's like, I need a break from it. I need a break from vampires and all that sort of thing. Sorry. So I have a really weird thing about looking at this in the camera now, so I apologise. But anyway, back to the review. 4.5 stars for me. The cast was brilliant. The storyline was just, it kept me guessing and guessing and guessing and guessing, and that was what I really loved about it. It was a thriller too. Like, in some parts, it's not so scary. It's more like, oh god, this is happening to her, or who the hell is it, or it keeps you guessing, and it is a thriller. So I really like that about the writing in the book, that it is not so much there is a love story, but it's not totally a love story, and it's not totally about fallen angels, and it's not, totally a thriller. It's all different types of things put into one to make a story that just flows. It really did flow, and I love the book itself. It's so soft to hold, and I love the pages and the font and the chapters, like, with the little feathers and things like that. I just love it, and I can't believe I waited this long to read it. Like, I thought, oh god, this is gonna be another fantasy book that I'm gonna get through, and no, it wasn't. And compared to like all the reviews I watched on it, like, I could have just gone into it without watching the reviews, but I'm kind of glad I did, because it didn't overpower my decision for the book, but it kind of helped me towards reading it instead of reading something else beforehand. So I'm really glad that I watched some videos to get reading this book, because Hush Hush is a brilliant book, and I'm going to try and get as many people as possible reading it before this big sweep of Fallen Angel books comes out. I mean, I know that they've been writing about them for a long time, but I don't know, I just predict that there's going to be like a swarm of them coming out in the next year or so. It's just me, like, it happens all the time, like with vampires and stuff like that. Another thing is that I kind of wish I had read the Vampire Diaries books, not because I really like them very much, but I wanted to give them a go. But there's a few on sale at the moment, which I really want to get just to see what they're like. but they had the wrong ones. Also, I'd like to mention that I think that the True Blood novel series has kind of turned me off vampires for a while. I want to get on to reading Vampire Academy and a couple of other books, but I want to take a break as well. Like, I got 4 new books to read, but I won't read them all one after the other. I'm just going to stick to reading some romances for now, or teenage, young adult books, rather than reading like vampire young adult books. I'm just going to read like Perfect Chemistry and a few other ones that I've got. Yeah, sorry I'm looking around. I'm just looking at my bookshelf, wondering how I'm going to tidy it up. So that's Hush Hush. I can't really think of anything else to say about it, other than that it is a really great book. I pointed out the only real thing that concerned me. I loved everything about it except for the fact that in the first few chapters also it did remind me a bit of Twilight, and that it did take a bit for me to read, but that's not on the book's half of that's not on the concern of the book, it's the concern of my lifestyle. So yeah. Yeah, so 4 out of 5. Well, 4.5 out of 5 for Hush Hush. So you guys, go out and read it if you haven't read it, or if it's on your shelf. Really, I suggest picking it up. Like, the reviews convinced me to pick it up, and I'm so glad I did. I'm yet to read a review that really hates this book. I mean, I've heard lots of talk about it, but I haven't really seen anyone review this book in a bad light completely. So that's that. And I'm pretty sure you guys have all seen Perfect Chemistry, so that's what I'm reading now. And The Uglies. And yeah, so I'll update you when I'm finished reading other books. Okay? Bye.